So maybe we can ask Wendy and Adrian to help us out here. Give us a little bit of definition and maybe a background. It looks like if you go around the world, I don't know, well over 24 health authorities require this drug marketing application to make use of the eCTD. So let's talk about this eCTD standard and a little bit about where it came from.
Yeah, sure. So let's start with the very basics, and eCTD stands for Electronic Common Technical Document. And this really stems from the initial iteration of Common Technical Document, which is non-inclusive of things like XML backbones and whatnot. This is a standard format that was implemented by ICH to essentially streamline the submission of regulatory data to the health authorities. And by developing a common format, it allows for ease of review for the reviewers, and it also allows sponsors to repurpose data in an electronic format, so that it allows them to basically streamline their timelines and cost savings when you're able to reuse. So as I mentioned previously, eCTD was developed by ICH, the International Council for Harmonization. So Wendy, can you explain a little bit more about how the ICH came into play?
Yeah, so I'm going to date myself because I used to be part of regulatory prior to eCTD. Yeah. But before the eCTD, people used to accept drug applications, or health authorities accepted drug applications in paper format. And there was no standardization on all the regulatory requirements on how you would submit your regulatory filing. So prior to eCTD, if you think about it, there's over 150 countries and multiple health authorities out there. And every single country had their own set of regulatory requirements on how to submit your drug application for approval. The ICH and all these other major countries, like this, there has to be a better way to streamline this. And before eCTD, just think about this. If you filed your drug application to the US, right, and you followed all the regulatory requirements of the US, then once that's submitted and reviewed, then you got to take another 12 months to take all that data, make it meet another health authority's requirements. And it was just such an inefficient way. And it also delayed some of these patient therapies, all because of the inefficiency. So the ICH got together and they all agreed that majority of the data is common technical document. It's common across all regions, which is the recipe of the drug, which is the CMC information, the preclinical testing, which are the animal studies, and the clinical studies. How can we all agree from an 80-20 perspective what is common across all regions, and how can we just build once and reuse many? Hence why we are, the adoption of eCTD was born.
So the eCTD serves several purposes, a lot of which we've just discussed, but it really comes down to, again, streamlining. And this comes from both, time to market, cost savings, things like that. So it really does reduce the number of resources and time on the industry side, and it does expedite the approval timeline. And then from a regulatory authority perspective, it does facilitate the review and improves the communication. All of these things together, again, efficiency, speed, cost savings, all the things that, all parties want. So those are some of the reasons to use eCTD and how it came about, and the advantages to doing that.
Yeah, and just to add in here is that in theory with the common technical document, if the sponsor company has the ability to do it, in essence, you could submit simultaneous applications all at once and get multiple countries for approvals. So this is really such an enhancement to allow yourself to really, get that drug application to multiple regions at one time as well. So there's that possibility with the eCTD.